Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Extra Gents. Got a fragrance in earlier today that I've been waiting all day to open, and now it's in the middle of the night, and I finally got time to open it. So let's do it. It's a new one from 1821 Man-Made. Yeah, remember them from back in the day? 1821 Man-Made Sweet Tobacco Spirits, hype beast galore over here, which actually it still smells really good. But yeah, it's those guys. They're back with a new fragrance, and it's Noble Oud Spirits. There is a lot to talk about here. Let's go ahead and open this up. Let's spray it on. Let's see if it's any good. Let's see if we got a new hype beast in the making. So for those of you who were not around when 1821 Man-Made Sweet Tobacco Spirits, long name, was getting hyped, let me just tell you, it was everywhere. Like everywhere. And part of that was because it's a really good fragrance that doesn't cost all that much. At full retail, it's under $90 for a 100 ml size bottle. And actually this one right here, Noble Oud Spirits, I bought it from their website and just used a code PROHIBITION that I found online using the old Googly, and it saved me, I think, 25% off. So it ended up being somewhere around $60, $63, something like that. So yeah, $63 for a 100 ml size bottle, full presentation, all that. That's a good deal. So that's one reason that this was hyped, because it was good and also not that expensive. And then the other reason is because 1821 Man-Made sent bottles of this stuff to like literally everybody and anybody. They were like, hey, will you do a video about this? I'll send you 5 bottles if you do. So it was everywhere, man, every single channel. And people were waiting for 1821 to do new fragrances, and they never did. I've talked about this before, actually recently, but they sent me an email back in, I think, 2017 and told me, hey, we're working on 3 new fragrances that'll be out real soon. They never came out. But now we have a new one. And actually, I didn't even know this was out. One of you guys emailed me and told me about it. So I went ahead and bought it. Oh, and also I'll show you what comes with it. A little sample of Sweet Tobacco Spirits, in case you've never smelled it, and a folding comb bottle opener. Pop the top, comb the mop, it says. It's kind of cool. You can open your beers, and then you can brush your hair. This is so awesome. There you go. It came free with purchase. All right, enough of that. Let's open this up. Let's spray it on, see if it's any good. So here is the front of the box. You can see there it says Distilled Spirits, Noble Oud, 160 proof. It's a 3.4 ounce size bottle, perfume concentration, it says. Up on top, you have the ingredients and the name of the fragrance. On the back, you have the barcode and the badge code. My badge code is 22231. And then just a little seal on the bottom. The Harshy Blues. So it's the same bottle style, same sticker style as the original, only this one says 1821 Noble Oud. On the bottom, you have a sticker which has your badge code, and the cap slides into place. Got the website pulled up. Let me give you the notes here really quickly. A kingly scent inspired by intrepid travels to distant lands. Vibrant nuances of bergamot, golden amber, and ripe grapefruit open up the fragrance, followed by bright lemon rind, clove leaf, and smoked oud. The bottom is rounded out with rosewood, vanilla flower, and musk for a complex masculine fragrance. Here we go. Let that settle. So there's like a very light, varnishy kind of wood going on with a bit of a fresh spice touch. That light, varnishy touch you only catch on the back end. So when you smell it initially, you're getting a little bit of that citrus, but the citrus is not really strong here. I know it says bergamot and then rind and all this stuff, but I don't get a whole lot of that. It's more so the spice with clove coming through decently strong. I don't get any smoke. I don't get any incense. I don't get any oud. It's like a clove, light wood varnish, very high-pitched citrus where you're not getting like a lot of the depth to it. It's not as bad as like a lemon cleaner you know, like a lemon household cleaner spray. Like it's not that bad as far as the citrus goes, but it's not really got much depth to it. Yeah, I'm really unimpressed. This is rough. Let me spray it on again over here. You know, get that initial opening again, see if it's better this time. Yeah, kind of hoping that like that first few sprays was an anomaly and then suddenly it smells better. So here we go. 3 nice big sprays there. I'm getting more of the citrus this time, but it still is not very good. Yeah, unfortunately, grapefruit, bergamot, lemon, I get more of the lemon. And I know I said that it's, you know, it's not as bad as a lemon scented spray, but it's not that far off. It's really not. I think the thing that's most surprising to me is the lack of depth to it. So with 1821 sweet tobacco spirits, that one's very rich and sweet, and maybe some people would say it's too sweet for them, but at least there's a decent amount going on there. And when you smell it, you're like, okay, you know, it's got a body to it. It's got a life to it. So when you smell it, you can pick out different things. This one, when you smell it, it's just very minimalistic. And minimalistic is not always a bad thing, but this really feels like there's no mid and there's no base. It just feels like there's this very cheap smelling citrus, lemony coming through more than anything. The bergamot, frankly, I don't get. Well, maybe like a really poorly done bergamot. And then that clove, and that's about it. There is no oud here, period. Like they say that it's a smoked oud. I get zero smoke, I get zero oud, and I'm not being like snobby howdy-towdy and saying, oh, there's no real oud in here. No, I mean, I wouldn't expect that at all. But what I mean by that is I don't even get an accord that's trying to say, hey, you know, here's our interpretation of an oud note, right? Tons of designer fragrances have oud, but it's not real oud. But when you smell it, you're like, okay, I see what they're doing here. You know, sometimes it's more of an ambery sort of feel with like a woody backing, but you can still pick it out and go like, okay, I see what you're presenting as oud. Whether you like it or not is immaterial, but you know what they're doing, right? When I'm smelling this, there's nothing that could be perceived as oud. Like if you blindfold somebody and you spray this on, they'll probably rattle off like 50 notes before they land on oud. I gotta say, guys, this opening is bad. Like it is really bad. It's very poorly done. I'm legitimately bummed here. I really thought this was gonna be good. This is really, really, really bad in the opening. And where I sprayed it over here, I mean, it's possible I've gone a little bit nose blind, but where I've sprayed it right here, I'm getting nothing, like nada. I'm gonna let this dry down. I'll come back and let you know how it changed. But as of right now, this is not even worth entertaining. Like, don't even bother to sample it, honestly. I'll let it dry down and see if it gets better. I'll be right back. Well, I let it dry down. It didn't get better. It's really weak. So where I sprayed it on over here, 3 sprays within 30 minutes, if I went in for a smell, it was just like a little whisper. It really has very little staying power, at least as best as I can tell from this first wearing. Again, there is no oud. There's no smoked oud. There's no smoke, period. There's no incense. There's no ambery warmth. There's no sweetness from that. There's nothing at all here that I could possibly wrap my head around being an oud note. It just doesn't exist in this fragrance. It's almost like they're telling you what this is by the choice to not add any coloration to it. You know, the fact that it's just this clear color. Yeah, I mean, adding a color to it obviously wouldn't change the fragrance, but it's just the idea that this puts across, like that it's not got much push to it. Yeah, it turns out that's true. Because something like this, you see the deep color to it, and you automatically, subconsciously, you're like, oh, yeah, it's gonna have a pop to it. You know, it's gonna have some lasting power, some strength to it. It's gonna have some warmth, sweetness, spice, all that stuff. That's what this coloration is telling you. And when you have an oud fragrance and it looks like this, that's telling you, not too much to it. So what can I say? As it dries down, just a very faint, nondescript woodiness, and it is faint. It also smells cheap. It does not smell good. It doesn't smell quality. And going back to the original sweet tobacco spirits, that's one of the things that made this good. It punched out of its weight class. You could pick this up at retail, $80 or under with a discount code. And so you felt like you were getting a good deal because it had longevity, it had depth, it had mass appeal, it had versatility, it had a unique feel to the scent, all these things. This is giving you nothing, guys. This is really bad. No exaggeration. This is the worst thing I bought this year. There's very little to it. It's very minimal. It smells cheap. It isn't well put together. It's not blended well. There's no oud. There's no vanilla. There's a really bad citrus in the open. There's some clove. And then as it dries down, just a really boring, poorly done, very synthetic, very flat wood note. Even from the atomizer, it smells like rubbing alcohol or something. So if you were like me and you've waited for years for 1821 to do something new, and you thought to yourself, man, I bet this is going to be the new hype beast, hype fragrance for this fall, winter, you know, a good price, good performance, good smell, all that stuff. You thought that's what this would be. You're going to be so disappointed. I would not even sample this. It's honestly terrible. So yeah, that's it. I mean, there's nothing good to say. I'm sorry. The presentation is nice. You could say that, I guess. That's gonna do it for me. I can tell you, you will never hear about this fragrance on this channel or my main channel again, unless it's a video telling you these are fragrances you should not buy. I don't know if my bottle is somehow off or something. I wouldn't imagine that's the case, but this is really bad. What's in this bottle is not worth $5. Yeah, just save your money, guys. Do not waste your money on this. I am out of here. Thank you for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. I'll see you again another day with another video. Better luck next time, I guess. Oh boy.